It's time. Time to duel.
I mean, it's always time is of the essence.
Especially when you're dueling.
And what is time really?
A man-made construct.
I mean, that's
no
just
more
like
real than money or
that's just like
evil.
that's just like asking what is basketball to Jordan?
Existence.
Is it, or is it some sort
Winning.
Is it some sort of astrological fucking super self type shit?
How can it not be other than anything other than winning for him when you got your son, fucking your teammates, fucking like baby mom, right? Did he put kids on Larsa? Did Scotty put kids on Larsa?
I don't think so.
So your ex-wife, are they like finally divorced? Like your ex-wife or going to be ex-wife soon?
She's the one that filed for divorce.
So I guess that's still in the works or whatever. That's why Scotty's going through it right now. How do you feel about him saying that Jordan is not the best of all time, or that he wouldn't be without him?
That's where the music stops.
He stops the music. I think that's a first ever in show history. Oh wait. Speaking of which, you got to do the thing. Welcome back.
No. We ain't doing that.
This is how serious it is. All right, I'm gonna hold off.
No. I mean,
I'm gonna hold off until we're like 10 minutes in and then do the intro.
I mean, I'm a light-skinned Stephen Ed right now.
Oh, so. he feels the fury. So.
I mean, after I take this swig of gin.
Yeah, I'll take one as well. Not sponsored by New Amsterdam. Smooth going down, so when the fire that comes back up is
we may have a
cold as ice.
We may have a potential alcohol sponsor, but stay tuned for that. No, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Scotty clearly is going through some things, but at the same time, life is about choices. Larsa Pippen clearly has shown. I didn't know that. All right. When Future was talking about fucking a joint and some Gucci flip flops, that was Larsa Pippen. And how many years ago was that? Exactly.
A decade.
We're coming upon it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was quite a decade. If I'm not mistaken, that was one of, I forgot what track that was, but that was like one of him and Drake's collaborations. Matter of fact, I think that was conveniently named "What a Time to Be Alive," and I probably would say the same thing if I was fucking Scottie Pippen's wife. But yeah, clearly she's been doing this for a while. Clearly she's for the streets. So, yeah, I don't feel bad about him based upon that. In regards to like people sleeping on Scotty, at one point I did feel like that, but I'm gonna take you back to '95. All right, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, '95. All right. Well, circa 95, 94, when Jordan wasn't around, right before he came back, son. We all were Scottie Pippen fans, all right? Because we were like, all right, the head man law left, but Scotty's that dude.
Scotty's holding it down.
Scotty, beam me up, Scotty, all right? And, to his credit, he showed the outer exterior of what we wanted to see, but when things really, 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 really got deep, we saw who Scotty really was. And that's why he didn't come out in that last play against the fucking Knicks. Luckily, Tony Kukoc saved this nigga's career, son. And a lot of people don't say that. But had he not hit that shot, Scotty would have been roasted, bro.
Yeah, forever.
But, they win the game. Scotty Lucky comes out the next game, has a, quote-unquote MVP performance. Meanwhile, he's supposed to be the more, team-oriented dude. He's supposed to be the team player. Okay, Jordan is supposed to be the one-on-one guy. He's supposed to be the, one-on-one scorer that never fucking passed. All right, so had Jordan been in the game, yes, the shot would have been called for him, but he would have made sure Tony Kukoc got that open shot. Meanwhile, Scottie Pippen was on the fucking bench while that play was happening. And there you have it.
And a more team-oriented guy made the play.
Son, Jordan historically averaged almost 7 assists, but he didn't pass. But my question is, all right, if he didn't pass, or if he chose not to pass, who was he passing to? Scottie Pippen, the most he ever averaged in a year scoring-wise was what, 23?
Yeah.
And no, that was a good 23, but
especially for being the focus of the defense on top of that. And at some points, especially when the matchup was good, just seemingly, again, dunking over niggas and fucking bodying dudes and
now listen,
doing all types of spectacular
maneuvers. If you
maneuvers,
want to be that guy that has the last shot in the game, then you have to command that, all right? Jordan didn't just get that just because he was Jordan. He, number one, commanded that shit, then he hit the shot, all right? Circa the shot against Cleveland when I believe they tried to call the shot for Brad Sellers, and Jordan was like, fuck out of here. I'm taking the shot. Okay, now listen, Scotty, if you feel like you're the best dude, if you feel like you're that guy, then you're supposed to tell Phil Jackson, fuck that, I'm taking the shot, all right? Then you make the play. But you didn't do that. You chose to be a bitch and stay on the fucking bench. And then you had Bill Cartwright trying to choke you, son. But once again, Tony Kukoc, who you hated, saved your fucking career during that point. Then Jordan came back, then really saved your fucking career, even though you were kind of... People would have thought Dennis Rodman would have been the poison of that team, but that was really Scottie Pippen during that second three-peat, bro. Him and all his contract bullshit. Because my thing is this, bro. If it's really that bad, then leave, son. The fuck out of here, son.
But then that says he didn't want to chance it. That seed of fear was in his heart. Like, let's say he goes to the Rockets or some other contender. Like,
all right, well, you got to deal with that. But
what then? Listen, like.
But all right, well, again, to your point, you see what he chose.
And with that, welcome back to the Triple P, the Perfect Plex podcast.
Hey, but that's none of my business, though.
The man who just gave that sermon, I can't even call it a soliloquy, is the Lightskin Bandit. And I, of course, 1 more time, 4 more times, 86 more times, am the Liquid Snake.
69 more times.
Hey, nice. Especially 69 more times.
96 more times.
Welcome back, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and especially the Schmizmars, because I left y'all out of the intro the last time, so I gotta be fair.
I mean, but they were part of the outro, so
I included them, but I gotta make sure I nail that. Gotta shake that ring rust off.
And we don't want no intergalactic wars.
Exactly. I'm not trying to have.
We don't need no Halo situation.
I don't need no dudes knocking on my fire escape window at like 4 a.m. wanting
I don't need 1,000 grunts trying to come holler at me.
I don't need to see a plasma grenade fly and stick to my fucking hand while I'm brushing my teeth or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't need some 7-foot alien with the fucking grenade launcher and whatever that big ass hammer was.
Oh, word! There's a gravity hammer, I believe. Yeah, it's a gravity hammer.
Shout out to that and that plasma sword. So.
Yep. I don't need no one-hit kills in my sleep.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Halo Reach.
Definitely my favorite of the Halos. Although 2 was that heat, but
honestly, the first three.
Yeah.
Definitely, like 2 was, yeah.
2, it was the pioneer, man. It's the innovator.
Yes.
Even though it got rid of the bomb-ass fucking pistol from Combat Evolved, but it was fine. It was still an innovator.
I mean, they kind of brought that back with Reach, though.
Yeah, they
but
did.
with the sniper pistol. I love the sniper pistol. I love
which
that.
was cool. But yeah, we here to talk about sports, not dork shit. Well, we're here to talk about sports dork shit. That's more accurate, I would say.
The Spadorks.
Especially since yon NBA Finals went into Game 2 last night, emanating from, I was about to call it the Pepsi Center, but it's not the Pepsi Center anymore, the Ball Arena.
I ain't gonna lie, like it had a lot of flavor when it was the Pepsi Center.
Yeah, it did. But yeah, it's the Ball Arena now.
And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, a lot of that probably had to do with the fact that that's when they first went to the I guess at this point we'll just call that the Denver Blue jerseys when they first drafted Melo. Because remember they were just the what they went back to that dark navy blue, the Kimbe's.
Yeah.
Or shit, we'll call those the Chris Jacksons. The Chris Jacksons, but
No, not the Mahmouds. the Mahmouds.
I mean, you know, I would love to say that, but they fronted on him when he was Mahmoud. But yeah, no, when they first went to the Pepsi Blues, I remember that, son. That was I don't remember if that was Slam or ESPN, but whatever magazine. Shit, it might have been Double XL. But they had Melo on that cover with those brand new like them light blue jerseys that they had, son. And of course, you know, Melo being Melo, you know, he was there with the yellow headband and all that. So you know, I remember there being a lot of would-be Nugget fans back then, son. But honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I respected them because they at least kept it 100. It was like, yo, I'm gonna rock with the Nuggets now that, you know, that they're in the developmental stages. That way, when they get right, you know what I mean? Yeah, they won't be no bandwagoners. But I guess we could say because of Melo, they never did truly get right.
Nope. And then they did when they traded him.
Yeah.
But they did go to Western Conference Finals, and that's not nothing.
Not only that, I mean, look, I remember like there was a real thought that they could get, and they probably should have got the Lakers.
I think they should have. I think, but ultimately, they were kind of small, and I think they try to match firepower with firepower. Also saying that.
I mean, look, all right,
saying old boy was the Kobe stopper was a mistake. You know, there was a lot of
to say they were small.
Yeah.
I would have to disagree with that. Honestly,
smaller than the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
Even then, bro. Look, bro. They had Nene, they had Birdman, they had Kmart.
But your best defender is Kmart, and he was getting punished.
I mean, either way, you had big bodies.
They had it. It's just when they went cold was the issue. They didn't have any other way to manufacture points besides getting to the line. You know.
And then for me,
Carmelo with the million jab steps. That was the beginning of that. You know, before he perfected it. You know,
he was trying to be Kobe.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that Denver team, their biggest weakness was their coach.
Yeah, because
his fucking ego.
Because he hated them. He also hated them. Niggas. I think hate is a strong word. I think it was just there was just a lot of misunderstanding, and like you said, ego. Like he refused to bend and adapt.
No.
I guess that's gonna be.
No. Hate is a legitimate word because I can honestly say, or all right, a question would be: once we hit the 2000s, what team did he not hate? It seems like the only team that he loved was the Sonics in '96 because he did not like the fucking Bucks. And look, bro, I'm gonna say this right now: for Ray Allen to hate you and like verbally say that he does not like you, that takes a lot, son. Because look, throughout all right, like the Celtics beef that they had with Ray Allen, bro, you never even heard him say anything about that. They always spoke about that, and then that man showed up when they retired KG. Well, I don't know if they retired his jersey, but whatever they did for KG for the Celtics, Ray Allen was there.
And for Paul, they settled it. You know, they mended fences
because he was. I mean, I don't know if that requires the cast. We can't talk about that, but Ray Allen probably is the reason why they won that championship.
He is the reason. They didn't have another player who could just come off screens and hit jumpers like that. He was a very good defensive guard. His savvy was
no,
that...
even beyond that, brother, even beyond that, son, because I remember KG saying had they not got Ray Allen, he was not going to the Celtics. But again, that's a different cast. We can do that. Because there's a lot of minutia into that. And for what it's worth, that one championship that they won does deserve its own 30 for 30 based upon their big three. And we can call that the original big three. Outside of course, 96 Bulls. But we're not here to talk about that.
Nah, we talking about Anton Jameson and
Anton Jameson, Tony Delk, and Paul Pierce.
Yes, modern basketball though.
No. First of all, shout out to Live 03. Definitely shout out to Live 04 with VC on the Carter. VC on the cover. I definitely had a lot of good times on that for the original Xbox. That's how old I am, but I don't give a fuck. You know, as a matter of fact, you know, if we really talking sports game lore, Live 04 and fucking Madden 04, I believe Michael Vick was not only voted but analyzed and proven to be the best fucking Madden player of all time, son. That Michael Vick from he was Live
7.
No, 04.
04,
Madden
yeah,
04.
04, yeah.
With him on the cover.
He is. Everybody knew to pick him. Like, that's how good he was.
Not for nothing. Yeah, my first few teams that I used, I had to use
That's
him.
crazy. Like, you're even better than Bo Jackson from Tecmo Super Bowl, the most broken.
Well, first of all, that's a death battle. But
Bo Jackson versus Mike Vick.
No, honestly, I'm still picking Bo. So.
Yeah, maybe. Couldn't stop him, son. He just rushed and that was it. It was over. Mike Vick, you at least. It wasn't like, all right,
you
at least had to maneuver a little bit, you know, get tricky. Yeah.
Now listen, if we being all right, now we're talking about football shit, but I guess that is my bag. If we're talking like that time, especially that game with that Falcons team, I definitely set all types of crazy records with Warwick Dunn. But, I mean, all I did with that team was run. So, I would run and, you know, just do some ill play action. And, you know, the defense was still pretty good. Shout out to Patrick Kearney. Shout out to Keith Brooking. Ray Buchanan. Who else? Oh, those are the main dudes from that squad. Oh, definitely Algie Crumpler, the tight end from that squad. But yeah, no. I would set all types of rushing records with that squad, but that was before I knew how to, you know, understand, you know, passing coverages and, you know, timing routes and all that different shit. So, you know, I would end up getting like 200 plus yards with Warwick Dunn and like 50 yards with Mike Vick. So. Once again, shout out to Mike Vick. Son. Shout out to Mike Vick. We talking Madden 04. Shout out to Mike Vick. Shout out to T.O. Randy Moss, of course. Shout out to my Raider. Definitely, Charles Woodson. Of course, Ray Lewis. All types of different, R.I.P. Junior Seau. All types of various other niggas. All types of dudes.
all kinds.
All types, boy.
Of dudes.
Jason Taylor.
From the PlayStation 2 and
shout out to Joy Taylor too. Like I said, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Mike Strahan, of course. We talking the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Darrell Revis, even though he wasn't in that game.
And doing it anyway. So NBA Finals. In listening to the episode before this one, which is nice when you record the episode somewhat on a narrow time frame, you get to see how right you are about shit.
Yeah.
And that was definitely me earlier this afternoon, like just making final, like the little bit of editing that I do, like on this, but just listening to it, and the way the game went last night was pretty much exactly how we talked about it, more or less.
All right. So in other words,
how do you feel once again knowing that
no. So in other
your
words,
prophecies came through? Like,
so in other words, it just sounds like we've been doing this for a little while.
I guess. I mean, and just watching basketball for a little while. Also, we didn't get to cover Game 1, I guess, right? Because our last record was the Eastern Conference Finals, the end of the Eastern Conference Finals. So, what in these two games has really stood out to you, given the various Lightskin, I can't even say prophecy, just analysis that you gave, like Lightskin keys to the game, because that's what they always call it, right? How do you feel knowing that a lot of those panned out, especially last night, which was a really compelling ass game, like despite how cold Denver was there in stretches.
Right. Well, we just staying on Lightskin wave. You have three Lightskin X factors, especially when it comes to the Heat. One of them showed up last night, and that being brother Gabe Vincent. But you know what? To be fair and to be honest, there's been a good amount of information that's been definitely incorporated into, like, a lot of things. These two games and just life in general. I didn't know that Jimmy Buckets, apparently his father's suffering from some illness. Obviously, shout out to him, and best health and wishes to them. I'm not exactly sure what the illness is, but that clearly is attributed to his play. And he hasn't been playing like horrible or nothing, but clearly there's things on that man's mind. And outside of that, I know about the Caleb Martin illness. To what degree or what the actual illness is, I still don't know. But they saying the man had migraines and fucking fever. And yeah, he still showed up way more than Scottie Pippen.
It's gonna be on one of those episodes, bombing on Scotty.
Oh yeah.
I used to defend him so fervently. I feel bad now.
I was a Scotty guy, bro. Look, I was a Scotty guy, son. Now, fuck out of here, son. And look, Last Dance showed me a lot of shit with him, son. But we'll get to that. Matter of fact, I think we have to do a Last Dance recap, son, or
rewatch,
or remix.
Now that some things have come to light,
Part two. I mean, that was the pandemic, so. But
the real Last Dance,
or the Last Ride,
or some Jordan-esque, like we had, with the melodrama, like some Jordan title,
Oh no, because look, since really, like, and I know I said that in the last cast, but the pandemic, the Last Ride, and keeping 100, son, LeBron James fans have helped, like, revamp and reharvest the Jordan lore, son. These niggas don't get it, bro. Like, the more that they argue against Jordan, the more they feed into this nigga, son. He's like fucking. He's like Dr. Doom when this nigga took over the whole galaxy, son. He's fucking Galactus, son. This nigga just eats. That's another cast in itself, son.
Yeah, it makes me think of, though I want to stay more on topic, but it makes me think of another question where how come you don't think that other dominant players, especially like Wilt and Kareem,
Yes.
why don't they resonate in the same way? Like, we know about who they were, why they were dominant, why they are legends, etc.
Right.
But Jordan gets talked about in a way that doesn't match them. Like, they don't match Jordan in that same level of reverence.
No, bro. Honestly, I mean, look, that
or,
is it.
Or like Joe Montana, right? I was watching a Flemlo Rap, shout out to him, a video about Joe Montana.
I didn't see his new video when he was talking about Shay Sharp, but go ahead.
Oh, I thought his new joint was about Lamar and what he has to do to be successful, Lamar Jackson. But
from what I saw, his latest joint is about Shay Sharp and what was going on with that.
Actually, I saw that. So yeah, you're right. But yeah, Joe Montana only gets talked about or reverenced by like the older heads that you see. It seems at this point. And they talk about how like nowadays, you know, like you could see that he's like really hurt by that. Whereas back then, you know, you just sucked it up and you ate it and you just did what you had to do. But he seems to be kind of like on his Bret Hart shit. Like, they robbed me. They robbed me of my last few years with Steve Young and all that. So to go back to basketball, like why don't the legends stick in the same way as the current like modern legends do? You know what I'm saying? Like Carmelo, shout out to him, recently retired, and like people were just like, man, I loved Melo, this and that and whatever. And not to shit on Melo, but he didn't have the success that other like players have had compared to him. Again, not to shit on his accolades or any of that shit or his career, but just some people stick in a way that others don't. You know, Allen Iverson, same thing. You know. Right. What is it with that? You know, why don't people remember how great? And I guess part of it is because Wilt died, you know, in his case, but Kareem's still here, and Bill Russell up until recently was very much alive. R.I.P. to him. So, right. What's up with that? Like these hurricane thing, like why?
Oh no, I mean, look,
like where is that? Like why are people so fickle? You know?
The discussion,
you know, or Pistol Pete or guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Where I know greatness has levels, like, but why some and not others? You know.
I mean, and this definitely should be a cast. Because this is a very
well, Rusty Buckets kind of did that. I'm always shouting him
Rusty
out.
Buckets
with the Goldman Terry. That shit. Go watch that if y'all didn't watch that. But
I don't know if that's
I think Legend of Winning did that as well. There's a couple people.
Legend of Winning, but I know I believe I don't know if it's Johnny Arnett who did like a real the Making the Claim shit. I forgot who did that, but
that might have been, that was either him, because he's the NBA storyteller, right? That was, yeah. So I think it was him.
But like he has like the Making the Claim or making the case for the greatest team ever and like the greatest players ever. Whoever I'm thinking about right now, forgive me for that. But realistically, if I had to really sum it up, Jordan is realistically why they Michael Jordan is the reason why that you have a created player in fucking basketball games. That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
Like, he is the embodiment of everybody you just named. So when it comes to skill, hard work, winning, competitiveness, winning at the highest level, being clutch, having the swag, having the fucking appeal in regards to mainstream, having the appeal in regards to mainstream worldwide, having the appeal in regards to being a fucking icon. I'm wearing the sneakers right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These, like...
I guess a good follow-up question then becomes, do you think those guys coming up in the Jordan era... Let's like reverse it, you know, Jordan is a great from the past, you know, still Jordan, but from the past. Do you think that Kareem and them, whatever great player you put into the Jordan 90s era, do you think they succeed and blow up in the same way, given how great they are or were?
In regards to what, them playing like now?
Yeah, let's put Wilt putting up
Oh,
absurd
yeah,
numbers
like, no, bro, look.
in 1993. You know what I'm saying? Like ridiculous numbers, like as he did.
No, bro,
Just in the 90s. That's all. And those will be curtailed a little bit because they changed the rules of the game.
I can't name them all, but listen, everybody that they put in that original first 50 greatest players of all time. As a matter of fact, no. I'm not even going to do that to you. I'm glad you. I was thinking about somebody earlier, son. Somebody that has a name. Somebody that James Worthy.
Yeah.
That dude is the perfect forward for this game, son. That man would average like 35 and 15 in this era right now, son. Easy. And he would be first all-team defense, son. But nobody wants to talk about his defense because he played during the era when they were playing defense.
Yeah.
But him now?
Well, they also wanted to talk about flashy shit because that's when the flashy shit was starting to come up.
Like, again, that's my point, son. What does he have that you don't want? His game was flashy. He could do everything you want as a fucking small forward, power forward. You can play him at the center right now. If the Warriors had him, bro, he would be their best player, son. He, honestly, he would have done, like, if they would have had him, he would have done way more than KD did for them, son.
Yeah, man.
If they had James Worthy, then they never lose to LeBron, son. Because that Cavs team had nobody for James Worthy.
Well, and then the Draymond dick kick wouldn't have mattered as much as it did.
Well, again, that'll be part of our what if series, but
cool.
I mean, look, like I said, James Worthy, Dominique Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas,
Sean Kemp,
White Chocolate.
They herald him now, son. And, you know, shout out to him. He didn't, like, win mad rings or whatever. Like, thank God he did. But, like...
But no. Look, they
just remember him for his crazy passes.
Look,
like, you know.
there's been videos about this, but right now, right here, right now, if Jordan was playing right now, how much is he average? Or what is his... In his best season, all right? In 86, 87, the man averaged 37. He averaged 37 in the year of 87. But right now, what does he average? I'm talking points, rebounds, assists.
With all the rules changes, everything.
Right
like,
now.
Yeah.
In the year of 2020 fucking 3.
I feel a little spoiled because I've seen other guys do videos on this. But my guess is roughly around what he averaged for his career.
He averages a 45 triple-double.
No, I think he would dial back on the scoring a little bit because he wouldn't have to shoot as much because getting to the line would be so easy.
No, me saying him, me talking him at 45 is me saying him dialing it back.
Yeah, I would say just the cool 30. Like he would dial it back to so that the team could get their shit off. Especially since at the mid range they don't. With the exception of elite mid-range shooters like DeMar and guys like that.
30 is too low. Son.
The Young Bucks don't.
You got to give him at least 37, 12, and 12, son.
Nah, I say Cat.
No, because he's going to the line at least 18 times, bro. The most he ever went to the line in a season was 11 times.
But it's also
his career average was he went to the line like 8.5.
Yeah,
that's 9 times.
That's a lot.
That's 18 times now.
You know, that's like beard levels, but
So we're talking damn near 20 times at the line, bro. So we're talking that. Then you're talking at least like 8 to 10 mid ranges.
Yeah, I would say.
And right now, that means he's taking at least like 5 threes. So he's hitting like 2 or 3 of those.
Potentially
so
more threes.
35.
Potentially more threes because of what the league is like now.
Nah, for him, I would say at least 6. At most 6.
Unless, again, he was, very smart and realized, I could just break dudes down in the mid-range and set my other guys up, then cool.
And there's nobody in the post anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody. So that's his mid-range and his, like, him dunking on. He averages an easy 37, son.
Yeah. Although,
easy 40.
Although it would be slightly harder because his athleticism is now matched by what the athleticism is like now.
That is not true.
But
that is not true.
That's what I'm saying. But
he's still a top 5 athlete of all time. So.
And just the level of competitiveness drove him in a way that a lot of these guys don't have. So,
and even beyond that, like athleticism is one thing, but it's one thing to be a basketball player with incredible athleticism as opposed to just being an athlete who plays basketball.
Well, also someone who, anytime someone said, "Oh, you're not so good at this," or "You're not," that's why I brought up Wilt, because he was also that type of player. Anytime said, "Oh, all you could do is dunk" or whatever, he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna lead the league in assists then, or I'm gonna do this." I'm gonna do that. You know,
but
so
he was still like, even within him, like, he was still more of an individual than Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan just wanted to win.
But when you have that thing inside, when they tell you you can't do X thing, and you're just this and you're just that,
that chip,
that separates you.
Yeah, it does.
So, I think he would be wilding,
and listen,
definitely, because again, just on free throws alone, like it would just be nuts.
And look, to answer your question from earlier, when you were naming all those other greats and those legends.
Also, you get mad at steals because he's a very good defensive player, like.
Jimmy Buck is averaging.
I'm gonna still be conservative, and even though scoring is crazy nowadays, I'm gonna still.
He would still average a cool 36, 37.
Yeah, son. I think that's right about there.
James Harden averaged 36, taking mad dumbass step back threes. Jordan is way more efficient
and taking all of the shots for his team.
Not to mention, again, like Jalen Rose always brings up, Jordan gets points off of defense. So that's at least another like 3 to 5 points per game off of defense. So again, that's an easy 40, son. An easy 40, bro. Easy, son. Nobody could touch that man.
If court case Kobe did it, then why couldn't Jordan?
And look, they were still playing physical defense when Kobe, like, and see, that's something else I was thinking about earlier, son. Again, because I was watching the 2003 All-Star game. Shout out to Atlanta. They had the crowd rocking, but Jordan definitely was the star, as he should be. Because, you know, we knew that was going to be his last game, and had it not been for Jermaine O'Neal. Shout out to Jermaine O'Neal. Matter of fact, I don't even blame Jermaine O'Neal for that, son. I blame the coaching. Matter of fact, your man Zeke was the coach for that game. I totally forgot about that, but I didn't realize that till like after Jordan hit that game. Well, that what should have been the game winner over Sean Marion in the Matrix. As a matter of fact, I believe that was Sean Marion's first All-Star game. You see, I ain't gonna lie, son. I had to run that shit like 30 times back because to get all the different reactions from everybody in the crowd to like the players on the floor, well, the players on the bench, and then the players on the floor who were playing with this man, son. Everybody was a fan that night, son. From the crowd to fucking your man AI chest bumping this nigga because he knew, like, all right, this is the last time I'm gonna be on the floor with Jordan, so I'm about to chest bump the shit out of him, son. So your man, the crustiness, Paul Pierce, being a fucking cheerleader with the fucking towel, and who, I still don't know, I think it was Kmart. Somebody was dancing all up the fucking side. I don't know who it was, but, son, everybody in that fucking stadium was a fan when Jordan hit that shot, son. Because everybody was like, oh shit, oh, is he gonna do it?
He's doing it.
It's one of those, man. Shout out to T-Mac for that. Again, that may have been the best All-Star game I've ever seen. Because not only did you have your individual matchups, Kobe against Jordan, you had other like little matchups. The other main matchup I liked that night was T-Mac against KG. KG definitely got the MVP that night because I believe he dropped about 41. But again, this is why I blame Zeke. T-Mac was playing KG very well that night. So I don't know what happened, but whatever. I do know that Jordan threw up 26 shots that night, and the man was old and got tired. So, and for what I remember, that was in my lifetime / modern era. Well, not modern, but old school modern era. That was the only double overtime game I remember seeing that was like that competitive. So, out in Atlanta.
03 was a good year.
I mean, 03 was, I remember that dunk contest was and all. I believe, that was, see, I forget mad names, but I can remember these two names. That was Jason Richardson against Desmond Mason. So. I can remember, I forget other names, but I can remember those two names. But nah. Honestly, yeah, I think that was the best All-Star game I've ever saw. That one, and probably, 98, the last one they had at the Garden, and probably the 01 when AI won the MVP. And I think that was the last one. I was always a fan of them busting their own jerseys and uniforms instead of having like the All-Star.
Yeah,
joints.
the Universal All-Star.
Yeah, I like when they could just bust their own shit. So.
I liked it. It was a little confusing, but I did like it because it was cool. It was like that's how good you were, that you were able to rock your team, your team jersey.
But
we're the best players,
We're like, even more than then, we're in the era where they should bring that back now because why not?
And they have so many jerseys.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I mean,
you could arguably have all the jerseys match because there's so many color-coded jerseys. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bucks have the blue jerseys, for example.
They coordinate. Just their sneakers.
Yeah.
Just like the I'm mad they don't do that type of shit with the All-Star game, son. But the All-Star game sucks because it's not competitive.
Yeah, they keep trying all these gimmicks, but
meanwhile, LeBron is supposed to be the GOAT, but I think the last real like competitive All-Star game I remember watching was probably like 2014. Maybe 2015 when they had it, when they doubled up between the Barclays and the Garden, and you know what? All right, I think was that the bubble year when they had it in Chicago?
Yeah,
right before the bubble. Yeah, because that was when AD first got there.
Yeah, because it was like they were making such a big deal because that's his hometown, right? Mm-hmm. And they thought, oh, maybe he might come here. Maybe he's just maybe.
No, he was already on Lakers, but whatever.
No, they're still nursing that. They're hoping. Anytime there's like any discontent between these two, any of that, they're like, just come back, just come home, AD, come home. They're hoping, they're praying. So.
Well, first of all, listen, if I'm somebody that's from Chicago,
fuck it, do that trade right now. Vucevic for AD, straight up.
Nah, bro, I'm really going through
do
it, bro.
Do it, son.
No, son, if you're really somebody that's from Chicago within the last 10 years, who do you want that's from Chicago? Honestly.
Like, born there.
Yes. Born and raised.
I don't know. Derrick Rose.
Bro.
That's all they ever talk about.
Bro, they injury prone and
anytime Chicago comes up is D Rose. Like, that's it.
Look, and look, to their credit, son.
And DeMar to some degree because he's good. He's actually really
DeMar's
good.
DeMar's
He's from LA. I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about in terms of like.
No. I'm talking people that
are natively from Chicago. Yeah.
Tim Hardaway, D Rose, Jalen, Candace Parker. No. J Rose, he's from Detroit. This dude, Juwan Howard. Anthony Davis, Anton Walker, who else? I think Jabari Parker. Yeah, bro, like, all of them niggas are injury prone, bro. All of them, son.
You only named one champion. That's Juwan Howard.
Listen, son. The only two that I didn't name who weren't injury prone, Pat Bev and Tony Allen. And honestly, yeah, Out of everybody, I probably will take Tony Allen.
Tony Allen is a champion. Yeah, with the Celtics.
Antoine Walker in the champion?
Yeah, he is.
I was about to, with the Heat, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. Now again, if we talking no injuries, for me it's a damn. Jesus. It's a three-way tie.
Well, no injuries because it's AD all day.
No. I would love to give it to him, but it's not just him, son. Because if we talking no injuries at all, the first thought will have to be D Rose. But for me,
well, you said the last 10 years. But I get it though, because he's probably the best Chicago player ever.
All right, so yeah, well, I threw out a lot of Chicago individuals, but if we talking last 10 years, I mean it would have to be AD but like last 15 years, nah, fuck it, last 30 years.
D Rose is in there, like just the fact that he's still in the league.
Nah, last 15 years, yeah,
still contributing, still there, like
it's either D Rose. Shit, man.
You see the reaction he gets when he comes back to Chicago. Just most places, but definitely Chicago.
If we're talking like first round, if I have a late first round pick, it may be Pat Bev, son.
Word.
Again, depends on where I'm drafting.
Yeah, and what you have. But modern basketball finals. What surprised you about the finals?
I mean, listen,
in the two games.
Like, a lot of what we're talking about contributes to the finals.
I'm well aware. Thus the segue.
You know what I'm saying? Because AD is a Chicago dude, but he's not living up to that.
Nah.
And, well, he hasn't lived up to that.
Well, I think he won his ring. He got fat, like some tend to go, personally.
And I don't think there are any Chicago people on either one of these teams.
Not that I'm aware of.
Me neither. KCP is definitely Cali. Well, let's just call it what it is. Right now, the blessed the blessed player in the world is from Serbia, hands down.
Doing it.
And I'm not even gonna lie to you. Right now, he's head and shoulders above, son, because when you talk about, at their best, right now, at their best, it's either him or Giannis. At their best, and his overall game is better than Giannis.
And for what they give you, yeah.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know, maybe Steph Curry, son, because when this thing is the gravity he has, what he does, how he brings his team back into the game in certain ways, like especially when they're down.
Well, again, that's why I have to quantify shit by saying right now.
I would even say right now, the only thing that's up with him is that his team was off, not him. Even with injury, even with his shoulder injury, he recovered pretty well, it seemed like, because he basically kept him in the postseason by willpower and gunning alone. Not gunning, but really taking teams apart. The fact that they survived the beam shocked me. I was just like, I was pulling for them, but the beam was killing people, and they already beat them in the regular season. So I was like, the beam might have their number.
I mean, the beam, whatever, son. The beam ain't shit. So
damn, son, you ain't fucking with the beam, son.
Why should I?
They're mad good though.
Once again, talent.
Well, mad good may be a lot, but they are good. They're a team, which is more than they have been in years.
They're good enough for us to talk about them, but at the same time, I'm still in the camp of the Kings franchise has to get out of not only Sacramento, but they have to get out of California for them to truly win. And the Seattle Kings, baby.
Yeah, so this is part 2 in our ex-team needs to get out of their town and go to Seattle series.
And again, look, I'll give Sacramento credit because they for what it's worth, they have had a legitimate like home crowd and so on and so forth, but in regards to like basketball teams, bro, like yeah, nah. Outside of the Warriors, like the other two teams need to leave. The Clippers and the Kings.
Yeah, that's not bad. Put some teams in some new markets.
Because, I mean, look, like, when you talk about it, like, only the Lakers and the Warriors have, like, real lineages when it comes to everything.
Yeah, well, the Clippers
no,
have the lineage of being cursed, so there's that.
But all right, we can talk about championships, yeah, but we were talking about this earlier, son. Name me any Hall of Famers from the Clippers or the Kings.
Bob
all right,
McAdoo.
no, we'll throw out Chris Webber, of course.
Bob McAdoo.
But even Bob McAdoo, he was part of Buffalo.
Yeah, but
not
still.
the LA Clippers.
Still.
No, because even when
he's good enough to mention.
No, because as a matter of fact, no, because when they moved to LA, he wasn't on there. When they moved to LA, I think he went to the Clippers, then he went to the Lakers.
Oh yeah.
So he wasn't even on the squad. We'll have to check that, but once they became the Clippers or once they moved to LA, he wasn't.
Elton Brand is not in there, yeah?
No.
Everybody else who could be considered a Clipper great is still playing.
Vladdy will get in the Hall of Fame, but that's not.
But for the Lakers, not for the Clippers.
No, not even for
and
the
the
Lakers.
Kings.
He'll get on it. No, Vladdy, because again, it's the basketball Hall of Fame. So Vladdy will get in there for him being on that squad that beat the U.S. team in '88.
Yeah.
He was on the Lakers, but Vladdy is going to be a Hall of Famer for being Vladdy.
Yeah, for his style, what he innovated, stuff like that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's hard to say because a lot of people know him for being Vladdy on the Lakers, and a lot of people know him for being Vladdy on old Vladdy on the Kings. Nobody talks about him being Vladdy on the Hornets, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But to your question, offhand, no, it's funny because I was just staring at this list earlier, and I can't, other than Bob, I can't really remember anyone.
So within those two teams.
Because Corey Maggette is not a Hall of Famer, Elton Brand is not a Hall of Famer, Lamar Odom is not a Hall of Famer, which he should be, honestly. Where is he at? But
yeah, no.
Blake Griffin is still playing. CP is still playing. They'll definitely be Hall of Famers.
Right,
Definitely CP will be a Hall of Famer. So
that's what I'm saying. So again, that's to that question. Like, who is the greatest Clipper ever? Blake Griffin.
Yeah. Though he doesn't edge CP out by much. Given what he did for the team.
But again, who and what is CP? Because you could say CP was a Hornet. Now, all right. Did he have...
He shows up everywhere he goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he showed up even on the Rockets. He showed up. He turns teams around. He showed up in Oklahoma. He showed up everywhere he goes. Injuries aside.
When he shows up, then he shows down.
Well, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about positive shit. So,
I mean, yeah.
And I can't believe I'm saying that. But, like, he shows up is the point.
No.
Whether that is sustained
we're
is another
talking about
thing.
who is the greatest Clipper ever.
That's how I'm talking about greatness, because I'm thinking talent. You know, I'm not thinking about what have you done for me lately.
Not even that. Like I said.
So if CP wasn't playing right now, I'd say it was CP, personally.
When we talk about the greatest Clipper or whatever, like the greatest Bull, that has to be somebody that was drafted by that team and had a predominant career with that team. I guess
it's Blake Griffin because he's
like
better.
I said,
because he's better than
or Elton Brand.
He's better than Elton Brand.
And he's
better than Lamar Odom.
Then it's probably Chris Kaman.
I think Lamar Odom is better than Chris Kaman. But,
no.
But
Lamar had way better years.
Well, Lamar's success is a Laker, so like that's what I'm saying.
No, even Lamar's
and
years
the Heat, yeah. So
could he have been? Yes.
But he was drafted by the Clippers, so I'm just thinking about.
No, I say drafted and stayed with them. And
Elton
look,
didn't stay that long either.
Drafted by the same team, and like predominantly like their biggest numbers and their best years were with that team.
Yeah, it's probably Blake, CP, and then Chris Kaman. Oh yeah, you said drafted, so Blake and Chris Kaman. Oh,
Yeah.
Chris Kaman wasn't drafted by them either, was he?
No, that's why I say Blake and
So,
Elton Brand.
Blake
Then
and
Chris
Elton
Kaman.
Brand.
You know what I'm saying? And then, honestly, after that, it may have to be Basic Game, son.
Is yet another appearance by Basic Game.
Look,
Second episode in a row.
When Cameron made that rhyme about him having the Basic Game, he was still on the Clippers. But for a rapper to put you in a rhyme, and even though his game was basic, all right, you know what? That's another question, son. What would Andre Miller average in today's era, son?
He would be what he always was, which is the smooth tempo guard. He would average like 15, 6, and 6. And like
I feel like he would average.
And every now and again he'll explode for you, but
I feel like
he'd be really crafty. Maybe 8 assists even.
No, I feel like he would be
because he was cooking on the Nuggets.
He would be
man.
more like he would
him
have
and Aaron
more.
Aflalo was crispy.
For me, in this era, I feel like he would have more J Kidd numbers. So I feel like
more
he would
rebounds.
He would be like 14, like 9 and 9.
Yeah.
In this era, because what is he like 6'4", 6'5"? He's a bigger guard, so
he's crafty, plays good D, you know.
And even though niggas don't talk about it, he was ironically he was a 3-level scorer, son. He could hit a little bit of his threes. He had a mid-range, and he could take you. He wasn't gonna beat you too much off his dribble.
Nah, he just did the ball face and the head face.
But he had a post-up game
like,
too.
He knew how to get you to jump so that he could fucking score.
So he could do a little bit. Like he do a little bit of everything, son. So
again, how often we talk about the fake timeout, you know, that he did, and they had to make a rule so that you can't do fake timeout plays no more.
Point is, basic game would be advanced game right now.
He would, but. Let's talk about current Nuggets. I want to revel in the fact that I was right. Aaron Gordon, specifically in Game 2, I'm talking about. In Game 1, you know, you saw the two sides of the Denver Nuggets coin and the Heat coin.
Which is why there are a lot of doubts in regards to the Nuggets.
Again, that's why I said 6 games. I was like, nah, I don't like. People are like, oh, they're gonna sweep them. I was like, nah, don't say that. Like, it's not good. You're counting on a team that is gritty.
No. Again, I said
and
it.
You have
I
to
said
beat
it.
them into the ground to like beat them.
In the last cast, I said it. If they have their minds right, then it should be Nuggets in 5. But
yeah. Well, Game 1 showed that, you know, everything was clicking, and they were able to neutralize the Heat's calling card, which is shooting.
Yes.
And the Heat looked a little tired in Game 1, which is good, you know.
Yeah.
Even though people want to attribute it to altitude, like, again, similar to UFC fighters, what players do nowadays is they get to Denver early so they can acclimate. Especially if you played there before, like, you know what to do.
You had 2
like,
games in Denver, so they've been out there for at least 2 weeks, week
2
and
weeks
a half.
now, straight.
At least a week and a half. Well, because
practicing and all that shit.
Game 7 was what, Monday?
Yeah.
No, last Monday.
Yeah, because Game 1 was Thursday.
Last Monday, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, like I told you, like, shit. If I was them, I would have went straight to Denver.
They essentially did. Like
I would have left from Boston and went straight to Denver.
They pretty much did. Like, because they were there for a week already. So
it doesn't make sense to go home, bro. Why?
Yeah, now they gotta stay focused. So Game 2 showed that Denver's weakness is, again, when their alien forwards don't show up, they struggle. And despite that, they still almost won because of how great Jokic, as the Serbian announcers were announcing, Jokic doing something.
Man, Kostic.
So to narrowly lose when your main weapons weren't clicking says a lot.
Oh no, your main weapon was clicking.
But he's gonna click no matter what. They have nothing for him.
Your main weapon was clicking, but not in the way that you need him to click for your team to win.
To succeed. Also, as you talked about earlier, and as we talked about as we were watching the game, I guess we're gonna go to the main elephant in the room. Michael Malone not calling timeout to advance the ball at the end of the game when they had 12 seconds left, which is more than enough time for a play,
Right.
especially for your guys who are starting to heat up like Jamal Murray was. I need to give you your flowers because you said for them to be successful, Jamal needs to not only average double figures, but average double figure assists, and he had 10 assists in game 2, and he was the one who kind of was facilitating their comeback. Besides Jokic
He
hitting
doesn't have
tough
to average
shots.
double figure assists, but
I think that they
he has to control the flow.
he
of the
has to
game.
control the game, and that showed.
Again, because he's a scorer.
And he wasn't shooting well in game 2, so instead of doing what he has done in the past, which is pout, complain, not take ill-advised shots, shit like that.
Yeah.
He tried
No,
to
he
get,
has to learn how to become their closer
and he tried to get his team going
instead of being their gunner. He has to
to his
become,
credit, he did. And so when he does hit those gunner shots, it's debilitating. Like he hit some contested 3 near the end of the game. I was like, oh man, this is wilding right now, son. Like, and that almost broke the Heat's back. And so Michael Malone not calling timeout in that last play to draw something up in the half court is crazy to me.
Well, look,
especially when they had just been killing them the entire fourth quarter to get back into the game. What was it? They went on a 12-2 run near the end of the game there. To come back, like they had these dudes buried and they came back. So, and Aaron Gordon and MPJ didn't play particularly well. Aaron Gordon started coming on near the end of the game, but his defenses and rebounding was kind of what was carrying them. Michael Porter Jr. kind of had a dud, and it showed. You know what I'm saying? Like if they only had another guy who also showed up, Bruce Brown and Christian Braun, kept them buoyed in the middle portion of the game.
And
that's where I put it on Michael Malone. He didn't go with the adjustment, and then
there's a lot that we have to discuss before the timeout. I'm saying.
I just wanted to bring it up right away because that was so glaring. Because they could have gone. They could have gone to overtime with that. Like even if they got the quick 2 and lost by 1,
right?
You can't be mad at that because they were able to score in that last possession and not burn an entire possession's worth of time off the clock for the Jamal Murray terrible 3 from the left side, I believe it was. So.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight was always 20/20.
I don't like that shit. Is what I'm saying. Okay, like I don't like that. We said that as it was happening. We were like, why didn't they call timeout? And then you said maybe they didn't have timeouts. I was like, but Jeff Van Gundy just said they had timeouts, and then they said he had a timeout, and he didn't call it.
No. Like, again, I'm going to go into the mind of Mike Malone, and to his credit, I can understand where he tried to come from. I still will disagree, but
me too. He wanted to stick with his momentum that had brought him to that possession. I get that.
He wanted to have,
but he was cooking these dudes every trip down.
Yes.
They were cooking these dudes every trip down, and they were able to get enough stops to claw back into the game.
No. Look, Mike Malone felt like his team wasn't. They weren't executing correctly in the half court.
And then they started to, so you go away from that?
No. I mean, they were, but Jamal Murray was hitting some Jamal Murray shots, so he felt like, all right.
But so was the Joker, even though he played incredibly. Like Denver was throwing possessions away there in the second half that were kind of inexplicable. Even though they, again, managed to claw back into the game after throwing away the 18-point lead they had. So, yeah.
15,
like, you know.
No, again, we can talk about actual strategy that should have happened. I'm just talking about Mike Malone and his mindset right now.
Well, I'm trying to stick
and during
with
that moment,
because it wasn't his players that were the issue. They definitely showed up defensively.
Now look. All right. And here's where we go. Like I said before, the timeout. Had Mike Malone had the right lineup out there, then his train of thought would have made more sense because you're dictating the pace, you're dictating the tone, and you have the right dudes out there who are going to do the right things for you. He clearly didn't have the right dudes out there for that.
Not at the end, anyway. Well, it It was
That's
up and
why
down
you
a
take the
little bit.
timeout. That's why you take the timeout because
at least set up the play so that your best gunners are out there.
you don't like the Bruce Lee shit, son. Flow like water.
Or force them to foul you, something. You know what I'm saying?
Or take the timeout to give the rock to your best fucking player. Or set up a play between your two best players. Jamal Murray taking that three with Jimmy Buckets on him is not the fucking...
Through the double team because they closed on him.
Especially when, again, the main thing that stuck out to me during that play was the Joker was being defended by Gabe Vincent.
Oh, basically, he's open.
So, again, I'm going to take that three-pointer over...
He's open. He went on a run by himself, basically.
I'll take him taking the three... way over Gabe Vincent, who's 6'2".
Or taking the drive and risking the steal.
No, even just that weird three that he takes. I'll take that over Jamal Murray.
Especially since he hit a couple down the stretch.
Over Jamal Murray taking that three-pointer with fucking Jimmy Butler defending him.
Yeah, and another guy closing out.
I'll take that, but that's why you take the time out if you're Mike Malone. If your team is, like, the fluidity is there, I'm cool. No, it was not. Jamal Murray just happened to hit a couple of cool shots.
But it was for them to claw back into the game because their defense allowed them to take that, to claw some of those points back.
Defense or just Miami just not hitting shots. That's neither here nor there. Point is,
they left the door open and they could have walked through it, and they didn't.
Miami could have lost that game, but they made the right amount of plays, but. If we're talking that last 15 seconds, we could have played that out a whole different way, son. And
by taking the goddamn timeout. Because even if you miss, then at least you were able to set your offense.
Point is,
that shows me that they're scared of Miami's defense a little bit. Like, that they didn't have the confidence. They just wanted to keep shit in motion.
Or just, look, I don't want to say it like this, but it's just Denver showing me that they are Denver.
That's what I'm scared of.
And that's why I cannot believe in them until
this nigga Jokic put on the masterful performance to bring them back. For what?
And the only reason I would still put my money on Denver is because of him, because he's clearly learning and seeing, all right.
They're also just way offensive. They were just cold. And that's what I'm saying. They were cold and they still almost won the game. So that's not what they do.
That's what they do.
So I'm worried, but I also feel like that's not going to be the trend. Also, again, Miami came out and hit their first 6 shots.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be a war, pretty much.
Yeah,
and that's what it was. You know.
Look. The Nuggets they're favored by like 2.5. They're favorites by like 2.5. So I'm with that because of the Joker and because not only his skill set, but you are seeing the mindset of a winner with him. So I won't say that man will throw up a 50-piece triple-double in Game 3.
He might. Because that's a heartbreaker of a loss, man. Like, it's one thing if Miami went on the run and then buried them in the fourth.
And even beyond that, it's a heartbreaker. But like I said, like the Joker, he's the type to learn from those type of losses. So, like I said, I'm not looking for like a 50-piece triple-double, but
no, I'm looking for the other guys to be more aggressive. That's what I'm looking for because they started to do that at the end of the game and it worked.
Even beyond that, like I'm the faith is there. Like I have faith in the Joker. I'm looking for there's a light-skinned fucking whatever you want to call it. Not the 50-piece triple-double, but the 40-piece triple-double for the win. For the win in Game 3. I have that much faith in the Joker.
So do I, because again the
40. They have, let's say 40, 15, and like 11. 40, 15 bounds and like 11, 12 assists.
Yeah, I mean they don't have anything for him. Like they just don't. And again,
plus we're overdue. We're overdue for a Jamal Murray game.
Yeah. I mean, he had an okay game for a guy who was struggling at first. He came on at the end.
And look, to his credit, I'll give him credit. He seems to do better on the road. He does seem to do a little bit better on the road. Not even just with his scoring, but just with his...
Also, they're a little scared of him a little bit, Gabe Vincent and
They
them.
have to be. But again, that's because Caleb is sick, though.
And that's good. Even beyond that, like, they realize that he can take them off the dribble in a way that they can't handle. So... that's good. I think they should keep attacking. They should attack.
If I'm Mike Malone,
just like they started to attack Duncan Robinson there at the end of the game, even though he put on for them with those.
If I'm Mike Malone, bro, I'm going big all throughout the rest of these fucking finals. I'm not going small at all.
And here's a good segue. Like Bam, you talked about how Bam and what he needed to do and how he needed to be, and he was that in game 2.
No, he's been that. And
he's been that, but definitely, and like I said, there's only one Bam, and you see that.
Shout out to K Love.
K Love showing up, which is great.
No, if Denver wants to go like big,
they can.
But
also
yes,
they can't.
Could.
No, I'm saying they can. I'm saying now it's going to be an issue if again you're going to turn out a game like you did in game 2. Because then if they're not scared of MPJ,
but like,
then
that's why I go big, because if nothing else, hopefully you at least dominate the rebounding game.
I'm just gonna give Christian Braun more minutes personally.
No.
What you need is effort. You need to out effort these guys. That's how they beat you.
Shout out to Chisel to Donis, because he was screaming at the Nuggets, being like, "Yo, why the fuck?" He was like, "Yo, same shit we was saying. Yo, why are you not playing Braun and Brown?"
They were killing these guys, man.
Especially like Michael Porter Jr. He's mad up and down, bro.
And
you have to know, all right, if he's not clicking, I need to sit his ass down.
At least Aaron Gordon was playing D, so
exactly, son. So you keep around.
The Brown brothers was doing it, man.
Not only that, they were giving you the energy that you needed to help with Joker, son, because him having that energy around, he could score and
the other guys fed off that.
And he knows how to dish and swish.
It could have easily been a blowout given how Miami was shooting.
Yeah, no. If they would have kept that lineup, they would have smacked them, son.
They would have. Because again, they lost the game by 3. And that was only because of
Joker had 15 in that third quarter.
Yeah, he went on.
And remember, I told you, bro.
He went on the run by himself, son.
They were only up 9, and I'm like, that's not enough.
That's not gonna matter. Yeah, I was like, it's not gonna matter.
Because I'm like, yo, the Joker's the only one scoring, bro.
And they were trading baskets, so I was like, okay, like they're hitting shots. It's just that they need to make more stops, and then they did, and you saw what happened. So I don't know, man. I'm highly entertained. I'll at least say that.
Game 3 prediction.
Miami will come out hot again because they had the confidence to do what they do in altitude. Jimmy Butler will be motivated because even though we were saying he wasn't aggressive enough, seeing what he did in the box score showed me that, I should just shut the fuck up because he had 21 and 10 or 9. And that balanced attack that they had was kind of the key because, like you said yourself, Bam is really the best player there. And if he shows that, they win. They can't stop him.
Bam is the best player, but
because he was able to play elite defense and still be the second best player on the floor.
Bam has to be a consistent 20 and 10 player for them to win. If he's not, then it's over.
Yeah.
But no, Bam has to be instead of Jimmy, Bam has to be their consistent streamline.
So this is where I will eat my words and be like, all right, Jimmy as the tempo guard may work with this because if the other guards keep hitting in the way that they are and keep playing defense in the way that they are, especially Duncan Robinson.
Jimmy has to be the aggressor.
And he was aggressive in a way that
in
a way that I was not expecting. Like I expected him to just keep ramming it, and
because look, if
he took them apart like a surgeon. That's how he did it.
But look, when Jimmy regardless,
and he didn't force shit. I noticed that him, Kyle Lowry, all the veterans they were key in the minutes that they got, and I think that's what really carried them through. Especially Kevin Love with all his football outlet passes he be making and shit.
Shout out
and hitting key shots when they needed.
Shout out to that old man Love. Need that old grizzled love.
Old grizzled love in our lives. So.
But I mean, look, Jimmy Busquets has to be Jimmy.
So
Busquets.
that's what I'm gonna see. I think the Heat will continue on their momentum, and I think Denver will realize that Jokic needs to play at a tempo so that they can all get their shit off. Because if they don't, they lose.
Or you may have to, at least for one of these home games, you may have to unleash the. You may have to take the hoodie off for brother UD and. You know what I'm saying. I mean, bring some of that.
If they doing that,
bring some of the old Heat back.
They better play Shmurda. They better play all these guys that are not playing right now. If I see UD on that court, bro, like, oh my god.
Listen, we already seen Tristan Thompson twice in these playoffs.
Yes, that's true, and I did call for that. So there you go. But UD versus Shmurda. Let's book it. Book that. Right. And Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant. So. Let's loosen up. And actually, there's a point there. Jeff Van Gundy mentioned this to Mike Breen a little bit somewhere in the telecast. Should Michael Malone go deeper than he has been? Given that he has some talent on the bench to go to.
You got to bring in at least one more guard, bro. At least one more. Bring in Smarter at least for defensive purposes to chase fucking Jamal Murray around, bro.
You bring in Schmurder or... Well, I'm talking about on Denver side. You bring in Schmurder or Ish Smith.
I mean, not it. Well, it don't even matter, son. If you want to bring in Schmurder to chase any one of these... You already have the Heat down, bro. Swarm them with whatever guards you have. Then throw in... Whatever, son. Don't let me be the fucking Nuggets coach right now, baby. The fucking lineups I would send at them, Spoelstra wouldn't know what to do, bro.
So, what do you foresee for Game 3, since you asked me?
I already told you. 40-piece triple-double from the Joker. With the dub. For the win. And they eating mad Cuban sandwiches after that. Or I'll hedge my bets. A 35-piece from Jamal Murray for the win.
Like 8 assists or some shit.
I don't even know about that. Matter of fact, we'll
That's what he needs to do to be effective.
No. We'll dance with the big boys. The Heat will win most of that Game 3.
Oh, so the reverse. Then,
Jamal Murray will do what he usually does. And he'll have about 12 to 15 in the fourth quarter for the win.
There's a lot of those. I could tell this is going to be a series of big quarters. Jokic going for 15 in that third, like Jimmy buckets, and these guys going on a little run at the end of this quarter, the fourth quarter.
I don't like Miami at home against this team.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be I think earlier you were talking about Game 7 and how it could go there. I think it might.
No, it's gonna be a back and forth. It's gonna be a back and forth.
War of attrition, like I said in the last episode.
It's gonna be a back
War
and
of
forth.
attrition.
This is gonna definitely be another one of those. It's been a while since we had one, but. Game 5.
Who's the X factor out of everyone? Just for everyone.
I mean, I already told you, Bam. Outside of Bam,
I feel like it's obvious though. Like that, it's not. He can't be the X factor. If you know, he's a key to their winning. You know what I'm saying? You know that. You know what?
He's the main X factor for the Heat.
Yes.
He's the main X factor for this series to be a series.
Who do they need to show up in Game 3 for them to take Game 3? That's it. Besides Tyler Hero miraculously, jumping out of street clothes or whatever. In
regards to the Heat, I mean,
overall, anyone. Me personally, I think it's Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon, even though, like I said, toward the end of the game, he started to put on. He has to be relentless against them. He has to really put fear in their heart. They also need to. And I love Hefe. I love Jeff Green. I do. They need to sit him a little more because he's a liability right now. But I'll
go against what I just said. based upon what that circumstance, if Jamal Murray has that first half he had in what was that game 4 against the Lakers, when he dropped 30, it doesn't have to be that much, but if he comes out hot and there's a lot of ifs, but if Jamal Murray can control, if he can be like the scorer that he is, and Joker can do what he normally does.
I mean, they did that even in game 2, even though they suffered a little bit.
No, they tried to do that. And they were getting to that.
They need a third and exactly. They were getting to it, but it was too late. And they still almost forced overtime. They need that third and fourth guy to show. Whether that's Bruce Brown, that's definitely Michael Porter Jr. Given the dud he turned out in the last game, because those other guys showed up still.
No. In my mind, I know that, but I don't want to put that on him because I don't trust him.
I am. I put it on Aaron Gordon because he's their.
I would much rather that, but
he's their X Factor player.
No. Look, the question you're asking right now, it is Michael Porter.
Yeah, I just don't, like you said, I don't want to put my faith in him. So. At least Aaron Gordon will defend. You know what I'm saying? He will give energy. He will show up.
He'll give you everything this dude ain't give you.
Exactly. Michael Porter had a lot of suspect shot selection in game 2. So that's my concern with that.
And that's my problem.
Michael Malone needs to have the bravery to play other guys more minutes.
That's my problem with Michael Porter, bro. If he ain't hitting his shots,
it's
he doesn't
feast or
rebound,
famine.
so.
Yeah, it's feast or.
But when he's hitting his shots, he'll rebound. So
yeah,
that shit pisses me off.
He's a positive reinforcement type of player. So when things are tough, he fades, and that's not good.
No, he's a negative PER dude, but whatever.
Yeah, when that shit happens, but when he's on, they look unguardable. Him and Aaron Gordon out there together. So.
But see, for me, he's not an X factor because, like, if I'm the coach.
Well, I'm not saying his name. You know.
No. But I'm just going back to the question you asked. If I'm a coach, he's one of those to where, like, you within the first 3 minutes, you gotta know, like, all right, nah. All right, cool. Nah.
Yeah, him, Jeff Green, like, they need to mix it up in a way that.
And again, for the team that they have, it shouldn't be that hard. You know what I'm saying? Because they have like 4 or 5 dudes that can play that position.
I think what it also is they get lured into firefights with the Heat because the Heat needs to shell you to win. So
not even firefights with the Heat. They get in firefights in general. And
but definitely with these guys, of course, because they offensively are better than the Heat. So of course you're gonna get lured into that.
They're more talented.
But look, it cost them the game last night because they took mad ill-advised threes down the stretch instead of setting up in the half court and crushing them. You know what I'm saying?
This is the most talented team that Mike Malone has ever had. But he's showing his flaws as a coach because I can't even say that, bro. It seems like whatever coach they have in Denver doesn't know how to, like, they will have like one of the most talented teams in Denver, or one of the most talented teams in the league, but they don't know how to finesse and maneuver and, bro, because, son, if you give me this team in 2K, son, I'm not losing, ever. Like, if I lose games, that's because I skipped that shit, son. I'm not losing. If I play, I'm not losing.
Or Michael Porter Jr. ain't showing up for you. Like,
well, again.
But you're probably playing.
No.
You're probably playing Shmurda and guys that he's not playing right now. So.
If I have the Nuggets, I either trade Michael Porter or if he's coming off the bench for me. But more than likely, I'll probably trade his ass for somebody. Honestly, I'll probably trade him for. I try to bring back Jeremy Grant or somebody like way more defensive than him, son. But I definitely try to bring back Jeremy Grant because they were dickheads for letting that man go, son. I understand why, but at the same time, now we're delving into other things other than sports. But like Denver with Michael Porter Jr., that was just a situation where they chose a motherfucker and they had no choice but to stick with him and defend him because they chose him. But they know clearly they made the wrong decision. But
I mean, part of it to absolve them a little bit. Not that I want to defend a bad choice because it was a bad choice to let him go. Jeremy Grant wanted to be the man, and they weren't going to pay him to do that.
But he still could have been the man on that team. So.
I agree. Much like I feel
As
like...
a matter of fact, bro, he's the piece that they're missing right now.
Especially rebounding-wise. But,
no, everywhere.
Everywhere,
bro.
but definitely...
Offensively, defensively.
But again, he put on in Portland. Like, Portland definitely benefited tremendously from having him there. So,
he put on in Detroit.
That too. Everywhere
and
he's
Detroit
gone.
Front on him.
Everywhere he's gone, he's been effective. Everywhere. So.
Well, once again, Jeremy, brother, we could definitely use you on the Knicks.
He's a free agent, which kind of is a nice segue into talking about our free agency coming soon. But
did you didn't give your prediction for these for this next game?
I did, in a sense. I feel like I'm going to be controversial and bet against my beloved Nuggets. I think the Heat will stay hot. I think they will stay consistent. They want it more, to quote Julius Randle from a couple weeks ago. They seem to really want this in a way that the Nuggets are not showing. At least, again, Michael Malone is not playing the lineups that are effective against this team.
The Heat as a team, but...
And
boy,
I think Gabe Vincent really...
The Joker.
I asked you what the X factor is, even though it's obvious. Like, Gabe Vincent is really their X factor, because Caleb Martin shot okay last night.
Gabe Vincent
but
is my X factor because I have a bet for him. But
sure, but I'm just saying that you could tell when he's playing, because he was effective, they won. They won because
the biggest X factor.
He gave him that little bit of an edge that Kyle Lowry won't provide in scoring, but he'll provide in other aspects.
Yeah. The biggest X factor truly is Caleb Martin's health.
Definitely, but also Bam. Because as long as he can defend, he have a chance.
I like how Bam is looking. So for me, he'll neutralize Joker as much as he can. Honestly, with no Tyler Hero. Your biggest X factor right now is brother Dunk.
Yeah, and he showed that last night. He only scored 10, but all that 10 was at the end of the game.
It's not only 10. That was 10 in the fourth.
That's what I'm saying. It's at the end of the game.
Not only,
it was clutch. He played defense on the other side of the ball.
But look,
they tried to attack him, and even though it worked here and there, it didn't work consistently.
That's their team, bro. That's their team, bro. It's either the peak of the roller coaster or.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Miami's guys, Eric Spoelstra went deep into his lineup, and they provided. They showed up, especially defensively. So
who you call it? Who was that? Hightower.
Yeah.
He was doing.
He's going in. Like, Eric Spoelstra is adjusting as the flow of the game is happening, and Michael Malone is not. Yeah, exactly, because he is coaching the I won't say the worst team, but the not as good team. So
you can't call us the least talented team Eric Spoelstra's ever had, but
they're the most diverse.
Since the Heatles,
they're the most diverse. They do a lot of things.
Since the Heatles, this is probably like the second most talented
all the
team
shit
he's
that they do by
but...
committee, because Dwayne Wade was the tape that was holding shit together for so long, especially in the absence of Bron when he left.
Shout out to D Wade in what was that, 2016?
Yeah, when he was cooking, man.
Now that last year when he was carrying.
Yeah, he was. So it's a pleasant surprise to see this team and know that they are not solely contingent on Jimmy to win. They need each other to win. They do it together, like you do it. That's how it goes.
No.
So that's my prediction. I think the Heat stay hot. I think they take this next one based on momentum. Right. They're a momentum-based team, and Bam showed me that he could change the complexion of the game even when the Joker goes for fucking video game numbers, and they still lost.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sit with that. Again, I want the Nuggets to win. I just think the Heat showed me something last night in terms of adjustment, especially defensively.
No, honestly, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you.
They forced the Nuggets into a lot of bad shots.
I kind of want the Nuggets to win too, just because, it's about time. I just don't have the faith in them. So.
Me neither. Even though I've been their advocate on this show for them, they've shown me that they choke at crucial moments, and
they're still showing the reasons why motherfuckers front on them.
Exactly, when they should be stomping these dudes to the ground. And again, the Heat aren't bums. I'm not trying to remove them from the equation because they're not giving up on shit is what keeps them. No, in the game.
They're the first seed to win a road game in the finals.
Yeah, well, against the 1 seed probably too. On top of that,
I mean, just period.
So yeah, period. On top of that, against the 1 seed who was smoking boots all year, against everybody. That said, it's time to land this motherfucker, son. Anything else you want to touch upon before you tell them where they can find you?
Well, nothing else should be said outside of Jordan is the GOAT. We are in the year of the GOAT, the 2-3. Jimmy Bouquets. What can I say about that man outside of they clearly are trying to have the clutch player award. I feel like it was given to De'Aaron Fox a little prematurely.
I mean, he was for the regular season.
Once again, prematurely. If you were talking like
they
clutch,
should just learn to delineate. You have the season and then the postseason. That's it. That will separate.
No.